I have formally triggered Article 50 and begun the process through which the United Kingdom will leave the European Union. This will be a defining moment for our whole country as we begin to forge a new relationship with Europe and a new role for ourselves in the world.
It's going well, it's very, very well organised. What they do... Get me a ladder.
Well, I grew up in a Scotland where the decisions about our future are taken by the people who care most about Scotland, the people who live here.
MEPs have backed a call for EU members to halt arms sales to Saudi Arabia following the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi at a Saudi consulate in Turkey. The non-binding resolution puts pressure on EU member states to follow Germany's lead in stopping arms sales.
Mr. Bullman, I would remind you, when you talk about right-wing extremists, we have to remember that Nazis were National Socialists. It's a strain of socialism. So let's not pretend it's a left-wing ideology. They want the same things as you. Let's be quite clear. So, Mr. President, despite all that, you don't like the truth, do you? Yeah, you don't like that.
They won't like the truth here.
Come on, it's National Socialism. Right, OK, thank you. A lot happened. Oh.
Ones who would kill the socialists,
you idiot. I'm telling you, it's a left-wing ideology, OK? Don't pretend. Right. Thank you.
First of all, Mr. Kamal, I want to tell you something. I think it was not very wise what you did. And that you have to apologize, in fact. Because talking about Nazis as National Socialists and pointing the finger to the socialist group is an insult for all those social democrats who fought against Nazis. Who died in concentration camps. And I think it should be the best step from your side.
For the Europe of Freedom and Direct Democracy Group, Mr. Farage.
I think under Rule 164 of our revered procedures, I am allowed to respond to the comments you made as President of the Parliament, some of them personally insulting. Maybe you have a bit of a problem with your temper. I will ignore the personal comments you've made about me, but I will say this. We do seem this morning to be struggling just a little bit with our history. To claim, Mr. Tajani, that the European Union brought about the downfall of Nazism and Soviet communism isn't only laughable, it is very ungracious and deeply insulting to the United States of America, who made massive sacrifices so that Europe could be free twice in the 20th century, and to a slightly lesser extent, the United Kingdom, as 30,000 British dead in Italy will attest. So, you can claim what you want for the European Union, but please do not rewrite history. Mr. Tusk, I want to thank you for confirming that it was Theresa May that asked for the one-year extension to the transition period. I also want to thank you for your recent offer, saying that if Britain wants a Canada Plus style trade deal, you are open to it. Indeed, it's what I've campaigned for 25 years. I've always thought this was a better approach between our country and the EU than the one we currently have. Now, every proposal, of course, seems to founder on this question of the Irish border, but given the slight state of panic that German industry is now getting itself into. And maybe that's not surprising, because a WTO deal would lead to not just tariffs on German cars, but a weaker pound and probably a more competitive UK economy. So the time has come to look for answers. And the funny thing is, the answers are staring at us. Mr Juncker, in the Irish Parliament not so long ago, made it very clear there were no circumstances under which the European Union would impose a border. Indeed, Mr Varadkar, the Irish PM, not usually particularly helpful in the Brexit process, but even he has said under no circumstances will there be a hard border. This Parliament produced this study, one of your own committees, the AFCO committee, avoiding a hard border on the island of Ireland for customs control and the free movement of persons. The point is, there are solutions everywhere we look. The idea that somehow this border is an impediment, frankly, is a red herring. The problem, I'm afraid, is that there is a rogue element in these negotiations, a group of people who do not wish to see a solution, who've put up an immovable brick wall to stop us from breaking free. And I regret to say, actually, it isn't your chief negotiator, Monsieur Barnier, it is actually the British Civil Service, Ollie Robbins' team. They signed up years ago to the European dream. They've been happy to take their orders from Brussels. They are now out to sabotage Brexit. They are indeed the enemy within. And I think that unless the Conservative Party comes to its senses and gets rid of a leader who clearly is being led by the nose, then we will head to the December summit, we'll head towards a humiliating sellout, and we'll head towards the United Kingdom being trapped in EU rules for many, many years to come.
Honourable Farage.
Mr Farage, let me just recall that communism under the Soviet Union, the communist dictatorship, ended when many countries from the east of Europe became part of the European Union. Let me finish, please. I think that you have a duty to respect everyone's positions. I respect all positions. I've never started laughing when you talk about the United Kingdom, because I have full respect for the United Kingdom, but you need to respect the European Union. You can be against, you can leave, but you have to respect the ideas and values of other people. And let me recall to you, Mr Farage, that until next spring, the United Kingdom is still a member of the European Union, because the United Kingdom asked to become a member of the European Union. No one forced the UK to become a member. So 70 years of peace have existed in Europe since the two horrible dictatorships, and that is due to the European Union. So perhaps you should be a bit more careful in your reading of history. Thank you very much.
Joe McAlpine.
Yes, thank you very much. First Minister, also as a supplementary to Bruce Crawford's question on no deal, the UK government has published, I think it's over 100 technical papers now on the consequences for no deal across different sectors. But one area that they haven't published a paper on is what happens to EU citizens in the event of no deal. Now, I know that the Prime Minister was asked about this on Monday, and she's given verbal assurances about that. But I'm aware in my committee that the European Parliament doesn't even have any confidence that the deal that's on the table at the moment, a negotiated deal, would put the right guarantees in place for EU citizens, because the European Parliament doesn't trust the UK government to stand by any commitments it makes to EU citizens. So I just wondered what you thought of the fact that there hasn't been anything outlined as to what will happen to EU citizens in the event of no deal, and do you have confidence in the Prime Minister's reassurances in that?
First Minister. Well, I think it's shameful to be blunt about it. There's many shameful, deeply regrettable aspects of the whole Brexit fiasco, but probably the most shameful is the way EU citizens living here and British citizens living in other EU countries have been left to wonder what the future holds. They should have been given categoric, cast-iron assurances on day one, the day after the referendum. They should have been told, no matter what else happens, your future and your status here is secured. And the fact that 2.5 years on, that's still not the case is utterly shameful, in my view. And we will all have constituents who, are left just now thinking, well, we hope it will be okay, but we still don't know for sure. And we don't know for sure, even if we get to stay, what the arrangements will be around families coming to visit us and all of that. And it is, it's unconscionable that people are in that position when their lives effectively are aspects of their life are on hold as a result. Do I have confidence? I'm not saying that I want to say that I don't take in good faith what the Prime Minister is saying, but I don't think anybody can have confidence that verbal assurances will turn out to be adhered to. We've got a situation, which I've just been alluding to with Bruce Crawford, where the UK government signed up to the Northern Irish backstop in December, and we now have ministers like Michael Gove, ex-ministers like Boris Johnson, who sat around the cabinet table when they signed it, now pretending that they didn't know what they were signing, and the whole UK government, including the Prime Minister, trying to back away from it. Now, if they're doing that on things that are there in black and white that they signed up to, why should any EU citizen think that verbal assurances are worth anything? So it's a pretty sorry state of affairs, and I feel desperately sorry for EU citizens. For my part and for part of the Scottish Government, all we can continue to do is take every opportunity to tell every EU citizen living here that they're welcome, we want them here, this is their home, we want them to stay, and we'll do everything we can on a practical basis, whether that's what we've done around tuition fees for students or our commitment to pay the settled status fees of those working in devolved public services. We will do everything we can to give them the certainty that they should have had a long time ago, and it's so awful that they don't have yet.
It is unsurprising that the weight of the Scottish Government, which is, I think, sort of taken much more seriously these days, was put behind the position of, we really don't want this to happen. This is a democratic outrage. And if we can't stop it happening, then we're jolly well going to try and have our voice heard and make sure that the different kind of political and economic conditions in Scotland are taken into account during the negotiation period.
One of the reflections over the campaign itself was how analytics was used, how campaign tactics were used, and I think I haven't read Hillary Clinton's biography yet, but I understand within that, not biography, but her reflections on the campaign, there is a discussion about how data and analytics could be targeted and convince people, and what should be done about that, whether there should be new rules, whether people need to get real. This is the new political reality we live and exist within. So control and power, how are we in this situation? Who was able to fund a campaign to get us into this situation? And how are we finding ourselves all in a situation now where our government would appear to be completely divided and paralysed by this subject?
The biggest threat to the EU isn't actually Brexit per se. It is the fact that the EU as an institution is increasingly out of touch with the populace in Europe. And I don't think it's just about immigration. It's about centralisation. It's about people being left out of the benefits of globalisation. And I think that's the key issue. And what happened with Brexit was that the elite in this country, the Europhiles, got totally out of touch with majority opinion in the UK as a whole.
The UK government is partly so overloaded, and partly it's showing up its attitude to Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland is just trying to say, well, we'll take it all, and then of course we'll talk to you, and you're going to get a power bonanza, I think the Scottish Secretary Mundell called it. So I think it's exposing huge weaknesses in the way power is shared or not shared, or even how consultation happens across the four constituent parts of the UK. Normally, the Scottish Parliament at Holyrood ought to vote on the withdrawal bill. It's something called a legislative consent motion. At the moment, it's not clear. It's clear at the moment that the Scottish Government would not recommend voting to support that. The way devolution works, at the end of the day, Westminster could overrule, but that would cause a very big constitutional crisis. I think at the moment we've got a simmering constitutional and political crisis, and it's not come to the boil, but the politics up here, I think, is very, very different to the debates you're getting in England and in London.
What do we learn about power? Well, we learn that power still rests, in this case, very much with the UK government. So we see that as in the result. It wouldn't have mattered, frankly, if 90% of people in Scotland had voted to stay in and only 10% had voted to leave. You know, if the UK as a whole had voted to come out, that's what would be happening. And so you can see where that sort of democratic outrage argument comes from. And I think it's quite legitimate to sort of say, well, as the government that represents Scotland, you know, nearly 2/3 of us voted to stay in, and we are being taken out against our will. I think that's you know, it's quite right for them. I mean, my argument is that they took that probably too far in terms of how it would affect our own constitutional relationship with the UK, with the rest of the UK. But you could see where that outrage came from.
So, what's the plan? Right. We take Pete's car, we drive over to Mum's, we go in, we take care of Philip. I'm so sorry, Philip. Then we grab Mum, we go over to Liz's place, hole up, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over. I'm not staying there, though. Why not? If we hole up, I want to be somewhere familiar, I want to know where the exits are, and I want to be allowed to smoke. Where's safe? Where's familiar? Where can I smoke?
We're not going against it. What we're simply saying is that...
Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, sorry, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy! That Brexit has told people were inaccurate. I mean, like, you've already got Nigel Farage saying that the 350 million that's going to go into the health service was not true.
You believe everything you hear on TV?
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reasons why I seem so far away today. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. When I have moved and I've kept on moving, I've proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. Oh, and I have tried and kept on trying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've travelled hard with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Let's hear you, give up. Oh, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. Thought if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. And now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher, but they've weathered now, they've gone. But I'm steady thinking, my way's clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow when the hands have shaken and the kisses flowed. Well, I will disappear. Make a bit of noise, here we go. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever. Well, try singing it on your own. Try it, go. Oh, and let one more time and let's lift the roof. Here we go. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. For if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
cigarette you bummed from me is almost burning out. You suck it till your fingers burn and then you throw it on the ground. I'll be right behind you, Josephine. Even after everything we've seen, in this sterile room with blinding lights and faces pointing down, I only wanna scream, but still I just can't make a sound. Now hold my hand, I'll hold my breath. There's nothing in this world we really own. And Jesus Christ, if you tore my heart out, the only thing I'd feel is less alone, less alone. I'll be right behind you, Josephine. I won't leave you waiting in this dream, while you watch the people speaking words you can't quite comprehend. You asked me if I'd pinch you, but my fingers wouldn't bend. I'll be right behind you, Josephine, just like I was when we were 17. I guess it's only been a year, but still it feels like 34. I don't feel like I am living in the same skin anymore. Now hold my hand, I'll hold my breath. There's nothing in this world we really own. And Jesus Christ, if you tore my heart out, the only thing I'd feel is less alone, less alone. Josephine, even when my soul's an amputee, and my bleeding heart is sinking in the lake inside my chest. So I grab what I can cling to and I leave behind the rest. Now hold my hand, I'll hold my breath. There's nothing in this world we really own. And Jesus Christ, if you tore my heart out, the only thing I'd feel was less alone. Now hold my hand and take my breath, and leave behind the things you'll never own. And Jesus Christ, please tear my heart out. Oh, I wanna feel a little less alone, less alone.
Now playing Jason Shaw, Landra's Dream. Track playing now. Morgan Green, Treadlines.
Trade winds are calling, calling to me, come back to the sea. And I know I'll go. The question is when. Trade winds are blowing, going somewhere where no one has a care. And I know I'll go. The question is when. To hold you, holding out, to hold you, one more time, believing I'd kiss you again, but the governor never called. Trade winds are blowing, going somewhere where no one has a care. And I know I'll go. The question is when.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Track playing now. Bill Shostak, Red Cushions.
On the bar stools mocked him as he stood in their line. Her love had proved a fatal toxin. Now he drinks himself blind. Blue neon lights around him hound him with their cold lurid glow. The pallor that surrounds him won't let him go. She's gone. He's gone. He's lost. She's gone.
Track playing now. Brianna Grace, Catch Your Love.
The world wasn't made in a shade of grey. You like that I'm colorful. Finally I feel safe, but now all my doubts keep saying, girl, get illogical. We're falling in too deep, we're falling in too hard, especially with two broken hearts. I'm not as strong as I once was. Can we give it to you with someone else? Can't sleep if you're not by my side. Get so sick every time I run. Get so sick it don't matter what I try.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
The time I overslept and we missed our flights. You said it only matters where we are. Doesn't matter where we go. Doesn't matter where we go. Sometimes I get so pissed over stupid little things I never mentioned. I wonder if we were falling in too deep. We're falling in too hard, especially with two broken hearts. I'm not as strong as I once was. Can't think that I'm trying to work it out. Just drink when you're not by my side. Get so sick every time I run. Get so sick it don't matter what I try. I catch you, 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 I catch you. Damn, but your love's so pure. I try to understand it all. Boy, you're my body cure. I try to understand, but I don't understand. Can we give it to you with someone else? I can't sleep if you're not by my side. Get so sick every time I run. Get so sick, sick, sick. I can't think, but I'm trying to work it out. Just drink when you're not by my side. Get so sick every time I run. Get so sick it don't matter what I try. I catch you, 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 I catch you.
Next up is Indigo Drone, Picture of You.
Better than a girlfriend that you don't like. Going around for things to get better. Only you can tell me what you want. Only you can tell me what's in store. And there's a picture of you, and there's a picture of me. Coming out and saying, no you don't, you don't, you. No you don't, you don't. Better than a mansion under city lights. Better than a girlfriend that you don't like. Showing around for things to get better. Only you can tell me what you want. Only you can tell me what's in store. And there's a picture of you, and there's a picture of me. I'm coming out and saying, no you don't, you don't, you. 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 And there's a picture of you, and there's a picture of me, all coming out and saying. And there's a picture of you, and there's a picture of me, all coming out and saying,
No, you don't, you don't, you. 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 No, you don't, you don't, you.
Playing now. Josh Woodward, Invisible Light.
We lay down face to face to witness our rebirth, and I'm not leaving while you're breathing. I won't run away. They say it won't last, you'll move along, but we're moving too fast. I know they're wrong, 'cause we are like invisible. Dark eyes, we're tall, our heads are high, and I wanna apologize. Oil and water, prince and pauper, not so far apart. They say it won't last, you'll move along, but then we're moving too fast. I know they're wrong, 'cause we are like invisible light in the dark. And there's an endless road on the edge of the map, so let's pack our hats in a burlap sack and go. Leaves are falling, we are stalling. Seasons come and go, but winter's chill won't leave me ill. I'll fight, you'll fight. Toothpaste and lemonade, polka dots and stripes. You're a dark night, and I'm the day. We're a wreck, and that's alright. You're the pin that's sticking into me, the hand grenade. They say it won't last, you'll move along, but we're moving too fast. I know they're wrong, 'cause we are like invisible light in the dark. And there's an endless road on the edge of the map, so let's
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland. Channel Radio ITS.
Playing now. Redneck Surfers, The Last Path That Will Lead to the Herd.
I was looking for somebody. Then I met my American girl next door, wild, shy, and sunny.
Next we have Dano, Love Letters.
All I wanted was to say, I love you too. I wrote a poem from your notes and love letters. Through every season I put them together. Then I added the lyrics I wrote in New York to write this love song for the one that I adore. A beautiful story about you and me. Just one kiss from your pink lips sets me free. Woman, I'm your best friend and lover. That's the meaning of love you helped me discover. I wrote a poem from your notes and love letters. Through every season I put them together. Then I added the lyrics I wrote in New York to write this love song for the one that I adore. You don't have to test me, 'cause we're real, and my music says how I feel. I read your poetry and brought you flowers. Minutes went by that were really hours, and they were ours. What is this spell that makes me love you? You're my everything, and a dream come true. When I picture your blue eyes and long hair, it hurts 'cause I wanna be with you there. I wrote a poem from your notes and love letters. Through every season I put them together. Then I added the lyrics I wrote in New York to write this love song for the one that I adore. I wrote a poem from your notes and love letters. Through every season I put them together. Then I added the lyrics I wrote in New York to write this love song for the one that I adore. To write this love song for the one that I adore.
Now playing Leela on Leela.
All the things I said that I never meant. I was angry and I never regret. Wish I could somehow undo all the things I did. I was being selfish, thinking about just what I wanted. Wish I could untell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Is it enough? Is it enough? Wish I could untell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Yo, na 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 na, hey hey, na 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 na, hey hey. I couldn't tell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Is it enough? Is it enough? Wish I couldn't tell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Na 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 na, hey hey. Do you ever? I wish. Can we ever undo? Do you ever? I wish. Can we ever undo? I wish that I could untell. Undo all the things I did. I was sneaking, yeah, I cheated, broke your heart again. Wish I could untell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Isn't enough, isn't enough. Wish I could untell. Wish I could undo. Wish I could unlove. Yo, na 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 na, hey hey.
Well, my old man.
Next we have Steve Blackley, My Mother.
ain't been seen. But my mother was a lady who chose to stay. Yes, my mother was a lady every day. Found his luck, and he missed the big house. And as for me, well, I made my buck. No one dared ask how. Well, my a gun he carried, and it drove her crazy. But my mother was a lady who chose to stay. She came to die when I was just 18. And to this day, oh, I still cry. She was my good thing. The cycle ride when he ran off with my bros lady. Yeah, she stood by just long enough, 'cause she left her babies. Dying day.
Playing now. Daniel Kaur, questions.
Honor or shame, the questions never cease. Oh God, must I die to find relief? Is this a blessing or is it a curse? But today begins forever. Everyday grind. Are we body or soul? Reason or is there a better or is it only getting worse? So much to know in a lifetime, but today begins forever. Where am I? Is this heaven or hell? I threw stones at the sky as the skyline fell. Now I'm standing in the eyes of all that I'd presumed to know. So much to know in a lifetime. Today begins forever. Today begins forever. Today we live forever. Today begins forever. Oh, today is now or never. It's the last chance we have.
heavy rain falling. Seems I hear your voice calling. It's alright. Rainy night in all over the world. I feel like it's raining all over the world. Start it over, I got an idea. A rainy night in Georgia. A rainy night in Georgia.
Next we have Cinematic Monster.
With a monstrous perspective is how you're viewing me. The constant social rejection is nothing new to me. It's something usually I would let go, but there's an echo. Every time you let me just go, but no I can't go. In a world with having albinism doesn't make you inhuman. Have you ever ruined a family reunion by simple confusion? Huh? No, how they gon' categorize me? I skip through the bullshit and I write these passionate lines. If I listen to you, then I would be wasting my time. Don't run away from me, I'm just afraid it's you. Hey, it's you. I am. When I open my eyes, all I see is this. I am. When I'm closing my eyes, all I see is this. I spent my whole life trying to be somebody. Now I'm not just anybody, but from my past experiences, don't trust anybody. I'm thinking outside the box. Tell me why you live inside it. About to go load the Glock. Help me go and kill society. Filled with anxiety, fascinated with irony. Picking me as a target, but you miss me entirely. Pages ripped from my diary. Words through the hallways, feeling the distance. I hate you, that's what they all said, feeling resentment. I just listen to stem it. I don't trust the imposters. I've come to the knowledge that you're becoming a problem. Please don't fuck with the monster. I am. When I open my eyes, I am. When I'm closing my eyes, I am. Now ever since that 11th, I always knew I was different. It was just a coincidence that everything I was given and every word I depicted. Resolve all of these problems and make amends. It was hard just to make a friend. Apprehensions, offenses, I often would take defense. I often would play the fence. I never did have the courage, but since I picked up this pen, I never have had to worry. I am. When I open my eyes, all I see is this. Blood on you. I am. When I'm closing my eyes, all I see is this.
'cause you never seem to have a clue what's wrong or right. You disgust.
Next we have Josh Woodward, I Hate You.
You're gonna start a fight tonight if you're not careful. And there's only 1 in 10 of us that's broken. Why can't you just use your right hand like a normal joke hand? I hate you, 'cause every time you're picking up a pen, you're only trying to get the children to copycat you. You're a sinner. The Bible spells it out in black and white. Why you think we read it from left to right? Is that an accident? 'Cause the scribes who wrote the Bible got a choice, but you can learn to use the chosen hand. Sloppy writing's not the end. I hate you, 'cause you always wanna rub it in my face. All you lefties never seem to know that there's a time and there's a place. Well, I hate you. And equal rights were never gonna part with. Why you think we call them rights to start with? They ain't for you. Well, I hate you.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Now playing Redneck Surfers, La Route.
everything, everything, everything I touch.
Track playing now. Josh Woodward, Release.
And every day, every day, every day you give and I take. I'm living the best that I can, but fate never followed my plans. I'm holding you back, so I want you to pack up and grow. Everything, everything, everything you've done is great, but your back has been but please move beyond me and dreams that you found in a life that you left when we met. So please just escape, for my resolve goes away, and I ask you to stay.
Next up is Jeff Hurley, Gimme Love.
Give me love.
Symphonia, Love at
It wasn't. I hear a voice. I put it down to wishful thinking. It was a dream. The silence scream.
Track playing now. Redneck Surfers, My Body is a Rent.
So tired on a spin.
Track playing now. Michelle Channel, Summerfield.